Good morning. It's February 3rd, 2019. I'm Mark Jorgensen, and this is Anza Borrego Explained. We are in Lower Coyote Canyon today, just off DeGiorgio Road. And here it is early February, and the desert is really greened up with native wildflowers that have been germinated, some of them for several weeks already. We had 1/2 inch of rain yesterday, bringing the total on our gauge at home to 6.15 since July 1st. And the fortunate situation this year as far as wildflowers is the rains have been spaced out very nicely. We haven't had any big windstorm to dry out the germinated plants, and the temperatures have topped out around 78 or 79 a few times, so it's just perfect. And we're going to have a wonderful wildflower year here in Anza Borrego through the month of February and March at least. A lot of places are greened up and will be blooming beautifully in 2 to 3 weeks from now. If you're familiar with Henderson Canyon Road, which is often one of the top spots, right now the sunflowers and primrose verbenas are just 4 or 5 inches tall, so they'll be coming out peaking in probably 3rd, 4th week of February. Today we're here in Coyote Canyon, and there is abundant lupin, some gigantic dune primrose, which when they dry up, turn to seed, they turn into the desert bird cage. Lots of sand verbena already blooming, and it's just going to proliferate and cover the ground. A lot of desert lilies are up, and they're about a week from blooming right now. Behind me is a little string of Coyote Creek. Yesterday, when I was here on Saturday the 2nd, the creek was dry. Yesterday it rained pretty good, and in the upper canyon, maybe upper watershed, maybe they received an inch or more. So Coyote Creek is running just about 1.5 feet, 2 feet wide down here near DeGiorgio Road, and it's helping replenish some of these dune ecosystems down here. We have cloud cover. It's supposed to rain again tomorrow, Monday, and this is all just going to add to the tremendous bloom. One thing we're doing out here today is we're removing non-native Saharan mustard, and we've picked several hundred already in just a half an hour. The Sahara mustard, we think, arrived in North America via the root balls of Arabian date palms that were brought from Egypt in probably the 19-teens and 20s over to India, which is considered the date capital of North America. And so as a consequence of the importation of these date palms, we ended up with Sahara mustard being documented in the 1920s, and then just watching it spread out throughout the southwest deserts from the 1950s, 60s, 70s. And we have a removal program here in Borrego Valley, a series of events involving park staff, botanists, and a corps of trained volunteers come out and remove mustards from certain areas. It's kind of a lost cause to just try to select a broad area to work on. So the volunteers have been working along Henderson Canyon Road for several years now, and they have plots actually marked out, and the success rate there is very high. I was out there the other day picking mustards and noted that for every mustard I picked, there were probably 1,000 native plants that had germinated. So slowly but surely we get a foothold for the natives. Very often you pull a mustard out, this thing's sucking out a lot of moisture and a lot of nutrients, competing with these natives. So very often you're pulling one from an inch or two away from a little sand verbena or a desert lupin, and you can almost hear the native breathe a sigh of relief when you yank that Saharan mustard out. So again, like in the year of Flowergeddon 2 years ago, Kelly and I recommend that people try to travel out to Borrego Springs and to the greater Anza Borrego Park during the weekdays. If you can work your schedule out where you can come out on a Monday through Thursday, you're going to have a much easier time of driving out here in less traffic. Once you get here, the restaurants will have plenty of room, the stores, the grocery stores, the visitor center you'll actually be able to get into. If you come on Saturday and Sunday from here on out, once the word gets out on the flowers, it's going to be really tough to get to the visitor center or the park store and get your hands on a map and a wildflower brochure. These things are available, and we highly recommend coming out during the week. Come out early in the morning. If you think that most people leave San Diego at 7 or 8 in the morning and they get here about 9 or 10, well, if you come out at 5 and 6 in the morning, you're going to get here much earlier and have some really fine experiences out among the wildflowers without the crowds. I don't think you come out of the city to get into a traffic jam like we had in 2017, where traffic was backed all the way up Montezuma Grade to Ranchita and beyond, and pretty much stop and go traffic. So that's the update on the wildflowers, and we will do quite a few more YouTubes on flowers in the coming weeks and try to get you to the hot spots. This is Lower Coyote, just off DeGiorgio Road, north end of DeGiorgio. Other excellent spots right now are Arroyo Salado Primitive Campground at milepost 35, east of Borrego Springs on County Road S2, the Borrego Salton Seaway, and past mile 35 on the Salton Seaway on the north side of the road. Some of the most spectacular flower blooms right now of San Verbena and Dune Primrose and Dune Sunflower. And on the way out, just before you get to Fons Point, look over on the north side of the road in Clark Valley, and you'll see several square miles of San Verbena. It's just spectacular already. And here it is, early February. So the best is yet to come, but you can have a great time. Come on out and bring water and bring some snacks and a full tank of gas and have a great trip. This is Anza Borrego Explained.